This is Providence Television International, the game changer.
Welcome to the weekend news on Providence Television International. I am Ugbebo Ikekwa. Public primary schools and primary healthcare centers across the Federal Capital Territory remain shut on Friday as the ongoing strike by workers under the Joint Unions Action Committee continued. The strike was further reinforced on Monday after the FCT chapters of the Nigeria Union of Teachers and the Nigeria Union of Local Government Employees joined the action in solidarity. The JUAC has directed its members to sustain the strike until all demands are met, following its decision to appeal a January 27th ruling of the National Industrial Court, which ordered workers to suspend the strike and adjourned the case to March 23rd, 2026. Indigenes of Ebonyi State trading in Anambra State have distanced themselves from any planned protest over the closure of the Onitsha main market, declaring full support for Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo's insistence on full commercial activities on Mondays. The Ebonyi Town Union in Anambra State made its position known in a statement issued by its President General, Moses Igwe, on Friday. Igwe urged Ebonyi traders to avoid actions capable of disrupting public peace or endangering their lives and businesses. He noted that the Monday business policy of Soludo was designed to protect traders' interests and strengthen the state's economy, stressing that repeated market closures only deepen losses for traders. And in a related development, the indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, has dared governors of the southeast, declaring a complete lockdown of all economic activities across the region on Monday to protest the closure of the Onitsha main market by the Anambra State Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo. The pro-Biafran group called on traders, transporters, banks, schools, civil servants, and every sector across Anambra, Abia, Imo, Enugu, and Ebonyi states and beyond to observe the solidarity lockdown peacefully. Meanwhile, Governor Soludo has ordered the immediate remodeling of the Onitsha main market following the one-week closure. The directive followed the governor's last visit to the market, where he lamented that the once famed biggest market in West Africa has collapsed into a shadow of its old self, adding that the market was literally dead. Amongst calls for a solidarity shutdown for Onitsha traders on February 2nd, 2026, the Ipob is also demanding the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu. Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo has approved a minor reshuffle in the State Executive Council. The changes were contained in a letter dated January 29, 2026 and signed by the Secretary to the State Government, Umar Ihilo. This is part of ongoing efforts to strengthen governance, enhance service delivery, and promote greater efficiency in the administration of Edo State affairs. Vincent Osasu Wadiai, Commissioner for Oil and Gas Resources, has been redeployed to the Ministry of Lands and Housing as Commissioner. Yakubu Shorenua is now the Chief of Staff to the Governor, and Gani Audu, former Chief of Staff to the Governor, has been nominated to resume as Commissioner for Oil and Gas Resources, subject to confirmation by the Edo State House of Assembly. The Cabinet reshuffle takes effect from January 30th, 2026. The governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, has announced that the state is no longer affected by power outages linked to repeated collapses of the national grid following his administration's investment in generating electricity from organic waste. The governor disclosed this on Thursday, noting that Abia is no longer under the regulatory control of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. He further stated that the new power arrangement had been negotiated and agreed upon by the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, which oversees electricity distribution in the state. According to the governor, waste materials are now being processed into biogas and converted into renewable energy for residents. The ruling All Progressives Congress has disclosed that high-level negotiations are underway to resolve the rift between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. The APC National Secretary, Senator Ajibola Bashiru, stated that the real work of stabilization is happening away from the press and assured that the party is working toward an amicable resolution where there will be no victor and no vanquished. The Rivers reconciliation is part of a broader expansionist drive by the APC, which has seen its tally of governors rise from 20 to 29 in recent months. Unknown gunmen have attacked Okporojo community in Eda local government area of Ebonyi State on Thursday, with many dead and several others abducted. Confirming the attack, the Ebonyi State Police Command's spokesperson, SP Joshua Ukandu, stated that the command is aware of the attack, noting that security has been beefed up in the community. The gunmen invaded the community, firing sporadically and setting houses ablaze, causing panic as some residents fled for safety. Former Cross River State Governor Donald Duke has defected from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the African Democratic Congress, the ADC. Duke was formerly registered as an ADC member in Ward 5, Calabar Municipality, where he received his membership card amid cheers from supporters. The defection marks the second time Duke has left the PDP, having previously joined the Social Democratic Party, where he emerged as its presidential candidate before returning to the PDP. Pope Leo XIV has emphasized the need for leaders to promote peaceful coexistence through political engagement, stressing that there can be no peace while humanity wages war against itself. The pontiff disclosed this on Saturday while addressing participants during a conference with the theme, Political Innovation, One Humanity, One Planet. He reminded those in attendance that their role as leaders makes them responsible for promoting peace building on a large scale. Pope Leo also urged young people to seek peace always, noting that peace alone can make the hope of a better world achievable. Anxiety is gripping Nigerian immigrants in the United States as an intensified deportation campaign by President Donald Trump's Immigration and Customs Enforcement forces many into hiding, while others quietly return to Nigeria. Amid aggressive enforcement raids, many immigrants have stopped going to work following renewed backing of ICE operations by President Trump. The raids, often conducted house to house, have sparked panic, protest and heated debate, especially after several deadly incidents involving federal immigration officers. The army spokesman of Iran, Brigadier General Mohammed Akraminia, on Thursday issued a warning that Iran will deliver an immediate response if the United States launches an attack. The statement reflects heightened tensions amid the United States carrier group's presence, which boosts American naval power near Iranian waters. The USS Abraham Lincoln leads a strike group equipped for rapid missions, signaling readiness for potential action. Iran views this deployment as provocative, especially against the backdrop of ongoing regional disputes and threats of military escalation. And now to sports, a major upset in the world of tennis as fifth seed Elena Rybakina defeated world number one Aryna Sabalenka in a gripping three-set final to capture the Australian Open women's singles crown. The 26-year-old secured a hard-fought 6-4, 4-6, 6-4 victory at Rod Laver Arena on Saturday, marking her second Grand Slam title and her first Australian Open triumph. Rybakina took control early, breaking Sabalenka in the opening game and closing the first set 6-4 in just 37 minutes. Sabalenka, however, responded in the second set, winning 6-4 to force a decisive final set. Rybakina's victory cements her status as one of the sport's rising stars. Still on tennis, Carlos Alcaraz reached his first Australian Open final after coming back from the brink to defeat Alexander Zverev in a dramatic 5-set match on Friday. The world number one won in a match that lasted 5 hours and 27 minutes in Melbourne. Alcaraz looked in control after winning the first 2 sets, but the match turned on the third set when he began to cramp while serving at 4-4. The Spaniard needed a medical timeout and struggled to move and serve afterward, allowing Zverev to push the match into a deciding 5th set. Carlos Alcaraz will now face Novak Djokovic in the men's singles final at the Australian Open 2026 on Sunday, 1st February. Any referee in the Nigeria National League found wanting in the discharge of his duties will be expelled from the league. The NNL disclosed this after a mid-season retreat held in conjunction with NNL club chairman at Ikenne, Ogun State. The league body reiterated its determination to make the NNL the best inter-club competition in the country, adding that it could only achieve the objective when all stakeholders play by the rules. It described the standard of officiating in the first stanza of 2025-2026 season as unacceptable and capable of bringing the league to disrepute. And now to the weather report. The weather forecast for Sunday, 1st February. In Abuja, it will be sunny with a temperature of 34 degrees Celsius expected. In Lagos, there will be scattered thunderstorms with a temperature of 33 degrees Celsius. In Benin, it will be partly sunny with a temperature of 36 degrees Celsius. And in Port Harcourt, it will be sunny with temperatures expected at 34 degrees Celsius. In Kaduna, it will also be partly sunny with a temperature of 34 degrees Celsius. In Enugu, it will be mostly cloudy with a temperature of 36 degrees Celsius. And in Sokoto, it will be sunny with a temperature of 33 degrees Celsius. And moving down to the other part of the world where it is really quite cold at this time, we have Washington. It will be mostly cloudy in Washington with a temperature of 4 degrees Celsius. And that is quite cold. We'll have pictures of that. Quite cold in Washington presently. We move over to London, where light rain is expected. It is still a little bit cold over in London with 9 degrees Celsius. And to Johannesburg, where we will be seeing scattered thunderstorms with a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. In Rome, it will be partly sunny with a temperature of 14 degrees Celsius. And it will be quite cold in Paris, where there will be light rain with a temperature of 8 degrees Celsius. And to the exchange rates, one United States dollar is equivalent in Naira is 1,445. 1 euro, 1,713. 1 British pound, 1,979. The Canadian dollar presently stands at 1,061 Naira and the Australian dollar 1,006 Naira. And that's the weekend news on Providence Television International. Thanks for watching. Please stay tuned.